You are currently living in a state of mental slavery. And the worst part is that you do not even realize it. Every single day, your mind is being pulled in 1,000 different directions by forces that do not have your best interests at heart. You wake up and immediately hand over your most precious resource, your attention, to a glass screen. You spend your afternoons reacting to the demands of others, and you spend your evenings drowning in a sea of digital distraction. You feel tired, you feel stuck, and you feel like you are standing still while the world moves on without you. This is the reality for 99% of the population. They are the distracted, the reactive, and the unfulfilled. They believe that their inability to focus is a personality trait or a result of the modern world, but they are wrong. Their struggle is a result of a lack of training. You have been taught how to read, how to write, and how to calculate, but no one ever taught you how to control the very tool that allows you to do those things. No one taught you how to control your mind. This ends today. This is not a book about passive inspiration or feel-good platitudes. This is a manual for psychological sovereignty. We are going to talk about brainwashing, but not the kind you have been a victim of. We are talking about intentional, self-directed reprogramming. If you do not brainwash yourself, the world will do it for you. Most people are already brainwashed by fear, by consumerism, and by the desperate need for external validation. They are programmed to be average. You are here because you refuse to be average. You are here because you understand that the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your focus. If you cannot control where your awareness goes, you cannot control where your life goes. The central thesis of this journey is simple but profound. Your mind is a vast space, and your awareness is a ball of light that travels through it. Right now, that light is jumping around like a frantic insect, lighting up areas of worry, anger, and distraction. To change your life, you must learn to take hold of that light and move it where you want it to stay. This is the secret to peak performance, to deep happiness, and to absolute freedom. Most people think success is about what you do, but true success is about how you think and how you direct your energy. We are going to strip away the excuses. We are going to dismantle the myths about luck and talent. We are going to focus on the internal discipline and the consistent habits that separate the elite from the stagnant. You are the protagonist of this story, and the stakes could not be higher. If you fail to master your mind, you are destined to live a life of quiet desperation, wondering what could have been. But if you commit to the training, if you apply these principles with ruthless consistency, you will become unstoppable. You will possess a level of clarity and drive that most people cannot even imagine. This is your blueprint for transformation. It is time to stop being a passenger in your own head. It is time to take the wheel. Let us begin the process of taking back your power. Chapter 1: The Myth of the Multitasking Mind. Most people pride themselves on their ability to multitask. They sit at their desks with 20 browser tabs open, their phones buzzing with notifications, and a podcast playing in their ears, believing they are being highly productive. They think they are the masters of efficiency, but in reality they are masters of nothing. They are practicing the art of distraction, and they are getting very good at it. You must understand a fundamental truth right now. Multitasking is a lie. It is a biological impossibility for the human brain to focus on two cognitively demanding tasks at the same time. What you are actually doing is task switching. You are rapidly jumping from one thing to another, and every time you switch, you pay a heavy price. This price is known as attention residue. A part of your mind stays stuck on the previous task, making you less effective at the new one. Most people live their entire lives in a state of permanent attention residue. They are never fully present anywhere. When they are at work, they are thinking about home. When they are at home, they are thinking about work. When they are exercising, they are thinking about their to-do list. They are fragmented, diluted, and weak. This is why they feel constantly overwhelmed. It is not because they have too much to do, but because they have never learned how to do one thing at a time. You must be different. To be exceptional, you must reclaim the power of singular focus. Think of your mind as a magnifying glass. If you move that glass around constantly, you will never generate enough heat to start a fire. But if you hold it perfectly still, focusing the sun's rays onto a single point, you can burn through anything. This is the power of concentration. Most people are moving their magnifying glass so fast that they can barely see what is underneath it. They are busy, but they are not effective. They are running in circles and wondering why they aren't reaching the finish line. You need to realize that your energy is finite. Every time you allow a distraction to pull your awareness away, you are leaking energy. You are pouring your life force down the drain. The elite understand that focus is the ultimate currency. They protect their attention with a ferocity that most people reserve for their money. They know that if they can give 100% of their awareness to a single task, they can accomplish in 1 hour what a distracted person takes a day to complete. This is the first step in your brainwashing process. You must brainwash yourself to value focus above all else. You must reject the glorification of busyness. Most people use busyness as a shield to avoid the hard work of deep thinking. They fill their schedules with shallow tasks because they are afraid of what they might find in the silence. They are afraid of the discomfort that comes with intense concentration. You must embrace that discomfort. You must train yourself to sit with one task until it is finished. This is not a suggestion. It is a requirement for anyone who wants to leave the 99% behind. Start observing your own behavior. How many times an hour do you check your phone for no reason? How many times do you find yourself scrolling through social media when you should be working? Each of these moments is a failure of leadership. You are the leader of your mind, and you are letting the inmates run the asylum. Most people are slaves to their impulses. They feel a slight itch of boredom and they immediately reach for a digital pacifier. They have lost the ability to be alone with their thoughts. They have lost the ability to concentrate. To reverse this, you must begin to practice doing one thing at a time in every area of your life. When you are eating, just eat. When you are walking, just walk. When you are talking to someone, give them your undivided attention. Most people will think this is unnecessary. They will say it is boring. Let them think that. While they are living their shallow, fragmented lives, you will be building a mind that is capable of incredible feats. You will be developing a level of mental strength that will make you look like a giant among pygmies. The myth of multitasking is the primary tool that the world uses to keep you mediocre. It keeps you productive enough to be a good consumer, but not focused enough to be a threat to the status quo. Break free from it. Decide right now that you will no longer be a victim of distraction. Decide that you will be the person who does one thing and does it with absolute intensity. This is the foundation of your new life. Everything else we discuss will build upon this ability to hold your awareness steady. If you cannot do this, you cannot do anything. But if you can master this, the world is yours. Chapter 2: Awareness versus Mind. To control your mind, you must first understand what the mind actually is, and more importantly, what it is not. Most people make the catastrophic mistake of identifying with their thoughts. They think that they are the voice in their head. They say things like, "I am angry," or "I am stressed," or "I am a failure." By using the word "I," they are tethering their identity to a fleeting mental state. This is the greatest obstacle to personal transformation. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are the awareness that experiences them. To illustrate this, I want you to imagine the mind as a vast, multi-room mansion. Each room represents a different aspect of your mental experience. There is a room for anger, a room for joy, a room for jealousy, a room for work, and a room for food. This mansion is the mind. Now imagine a ball of light that is capable of traveling through this mansion. This ball of light is your awareness. Where this light goes, that is what you experience. If your awareness travels into the room of anger, you experience anger. If it travels into the room of joy, you experience joy. The key realization is this: the room of anger was always there, and it will always be there. You do not need to try to destroy the room or suppress it. You simply need to move your ball of light somewhere else. Most people have no control over their ball of light. It is being pulled around by external stimuli. A coworker says something rude, and their awareness is instantly yanked into the room of resentment. They see an advertisement, and their awareness is pulled into the room of desire. They see a news report, and they are dragged into the room of fear. They are not choosing their experiences. They are being assigned them. This is the definition of being a victim. You are the hero of your journey, but right now, you are acting like a puppet. To brainwash yourself for success, you must learn to detach your awareness from the rooms it currently occupies. You must become the observer of your light. When you feel a negative emotion arising, instead of saying, "I am angry," say to yourself, "My awareness is in the room of anger." This simple shift in language creates a space between you and the experience. It gives you the power to choose. Most people are so enmeshed in their minds that they cannot see the exit. They believe that they are the room. They spend their whole lives trying to fix the mind from within the mind, which is like trying to lift yourself up by your own bootstraps. You must step back. You must realize that you are the light, not the house. This is a profound shift in perspective that changes everything. Once you understand that you are awareness, you realize that you have the ultimate veto power. You do not have to follow your thoughts wherever they go. Most people are like a dog being walked by a very distracted owner. They are pulled left, then right, then into a bush, then back to the path. You need to become the owner who walks the dog. You need to take command of that ball of light. This requires constant vigilance. Most people are mentally lazy. They prefer to drift through their day in a semi-conscious haze. They let their awareness bounce around like a pinball. You cannot afford this luxury. You must practice noticing where your awareness is at all times. Ask yourself throughout the day, where is my ball of light right now? Is it in a room that serves my goals? Is it in a room that empowers me? Or is it stuck in a room of past regrets or future anxieties? If it is in the wrong room, move it. This sounds simple, but it is the hardest work you will ever do. It is hard because the rooms of the mind are incredibly seductive. The room of worry feels like it is helping you prepare, even though it is just paralyzing you. The room of gossip feels like it is connecting you to others, even though it is just poisoning your soul. You must have the discipline to see these rooms for what they are and choose to leave them. The 99% will never do this. They will continue to blame their environment, their upbringing, or their genes for their mental state. They will continue to act as if they have no choice. But you know better. You know that you are the master of the light. By practicing this separation between awareness and mind, you are literally reprogramming your brain. You are weakening the neural pathways that lead to negative rooms and strengthening the ones that lead to focus and peace. You are brainwashing yourself to be the master of your internal world. This is not about being cold or emotionless. It is about being intentional. It is about choosing to experience the rooms that align with the person you want to become. It is about realizing that your awareness is your life. If you do not control it, you are not living your life. You are being lived by your mind. Take back the light. Stand in the hallway of your mind and decide which room is worthy of your presence. This is where your freedom begins. Chapter 3: The Art of Concentration. If concentration is the ability to hold your awareness on one thing for a prolonged period, then most people are mentally crippled. We live in an age of induced attention deficit disorder. The world is designed to fragment your focus. From the way social media feeds are structured to the rapid editing of modern films, everything is training you to have a shorter attention span. Most people can barely sit still for 5 minutes without checking their phones. They are addicted to the hit of dopamine that comes from new information. They have lost the depth. And without depth, there is no mastery. There is no profound achievement. There is only the shallow skimming of the surface of life. To brainwash yourself for greatness, you must treat concentration as a muscle that must be trained every single day. Most people think concentration is something you either have or you don't. They say, I just can't focus. This is an excuse. You can focus. You just haven't practiced. Imagine you went to a gym and tried to lift a 500-pound weight. You would fail. Would you then say, I am just not a person who can lift weights? Of course not. You would understand that you need to start with 5 pounds and work your way up. Concentration is exactly the same. You start small and you build. Most people fail because they try to go from 0 to 60 too fast. They decide they are going to meditate for an hour or work for 4 hours straight without a break. When they inevitably fail, they give up. You must be smarter. You must integrate concentration training into your daily life. The best way to do this is by practicing the art of finishing. Most people are great at starting things but terrible at finishing them. They start a book and leave it half-read. They start a project and get distracted. They start a conversation and check their phone in the middle of it. Every time you leave something unfinished, you are training your awareness to be jumpy. You are reinforcing the habit of distraction. To reverse this, make a commitment to finish every small task you start. If you start washing a dish, do not stop until it is dried and put away. If you start an email, do not click away until it is sent. This might seem trivial, but it is the secret to building an elite mind. You are teaching your ball of light to stay where you put it. You are brainwashing yourself to be a finisher. The 99% are chronically distracted because they never practice being focused. They think that focus should just happen when they have an important task. But you cannot expect your mind to perform like a Ferrari on the racetrack if you drive it like a golf cart every other day of the week. You must be focused in the small things so that you can be focused in the big things. Think about your daily routine. How often are you truly concentrated? Most people spend their time in a state of continuous partial attention. They are never fully there. To build the art of concentration, you must create periods of deep work where distractions are non-existent. You must turn off the notifications, close the door, and commit to one single task. During this time, your only goal is to keep your awareness on the task. When it wanders, and it will, you gently but firmly bring it back. This act of bringing it back is the mental equivalent of a bicep curl. The more you do it, the stronger your concentration becomes. Most people get frustrated when their mind wanders. They think they are failing. But the wandering is not the failure. Staying wandered is the failure. The win happens the moment you realize you are distracted and you bring your light back to the center. This is where the growth happens. You must also learn to simplify your life. Most people have too many things competing for their attention. They have too many hobbies, too many commitments, and too many digital distractions. They are spreading their light so thin that it has no power. To have elite concentration, you must be willing to say no to the many so that you can say yes to the few. You must become a minimalist of the mind. Clear away the clutter. Focus on the vital few tasks that actually move the needle. The world will try to pull you back into the chaos. It will tell you that you are missing out. It will tell you that you need to be more connected. Ignore it. The people who change the world are not the ones who are the most connected. They are the ones who are the most focused. They are the ones who can stay with a problem longer than anyone else. This is the art of concentration. It is the ability to become one with your work. It is the ability to disappear into a task until the rest of the world fades away. This is where genius lives. This is where you will find your greatest power. Brainwash yourself to love the feeling of intense focus. Reward yourself for staying on task. Celebrate the moments when you are fully present. You are building a superpower that will put you miles ahead of the competition. While most people are drowning in distraction, you will be navigating the waters with precision and purpose. Chapter 4: The Energy of Observation. Where awareness goes, energy flows. This is a law of the universe that most people completely ignore. They do not realize that their attention is a form of energy transfer. Whatever you give your attention to, you are feeding. If you give your attention to your problems grow. If you give your attention to your fears become more powerful. If you give your attention to the drama of other people's lives, you are literally giving them your life force. Most people are incredibly reckless with their energy. They spend it on things that do not matter, and then they wonder why they feel exhausted and unmotivated. They are like a bucket with 100 holes in it, trying to stay full. To brainwash yourself for success, you must become an expert at managing your energy through the power of observation. You must learn to observe your thoughts and environment without getting caught in them. This is the energy of observation. When you observe something, you are in a position of power. When you are reacting to something, you are in a position of weakness. Most people are in a constant state of reaction. They react to the weather, they react to traffic, they react to a comment on social media. Every reaction is a leak of energy. You must learn to be the calm center of the storm. You must learn to watch the world without letting it pull your ball of light into rooms you didn't choose. Imagine you are sitting on the bank of a river. The river represents the flow of thoughts and events. Most people are in the river being tossed around by the current, hitting rocks and struggling to keep their heads above water. You want to be the person sitting on the bank, simply watching the water flow by. You see a thought of anxiety go by. You don't jump in and grab it. You just see it and let it go. You see a thought of anger. You don't let it pull you in. You just observe it. This is how you conserve your energy. This is how you stay powerful. The 99% are exhausted because they are fighting the river every single day. They think they need to control everything that happens to them. They think they need to have an opinion on everything. You do not. You have a finite amount of energy each day. Why would you waste it on things you cannot control? Why would you waste it on things that do not contribute to your vision? To master the energy of observation, you must practice mindfulness in its truest sense. Mindfulness is not about clearing your mind. It is about being aware of what is happening in your mind without being governed by it. It is about having the clarity to say, I see that I am having a thought of doubt, but I am not that doubt. I am the awareness observing it. This gives you the energy to focus on what actually matters. Most people use their energy to build walls of resistance. They resist the present moment. They wish things were different. They complain about the way things are. Resistance is the greatest energy drain in existence. When you resist, you are pushing against reality, and reality always wins. You are wasting your light. The elite understand that acceptance is not about giving up. It is about recognizing the starting point. They observe the reality of the situation, they accept it for what it is, and then they use their energy to take constructive action. They don't waste time crying about the rain. They just grab an umbrella and keep moving. You must brainwash yourself to be an observer first and a doer second. Before you act, observe. Before you react, observe. This pause, this moment of observation is where your freedom lies. It is the space where you can decide where to send your energy. Ask yourself, is this worthy of my energy? If the answer is no, withdraw your awareness. It is that simple and that difficult. Most people find it difficult because they have a pathological need to be right, to be heard, or to be seen. They would rather spend their energy being right in an argument than being happy in their silence. You must transcend this. You must value your energy more than your ego. Your ego wants to react. Your awareness wants to observe. Follow your awareness. By doing this, you will find that you have a massive surplus of energy at the end of the day. You will feel vibrant and sharp while everyone else is dragging themselves home. You will have the mental resources to invest in your growth, your business, and your relationships. You will be operating at a level that most people can't even perceive. This is the power of the energy of observation. It is the ability to stay full while the world tries to drain you. It is the ability to keep your light focused on your goals while the darkness of distraction swirls around you. Master this, and you master your life. Chapter 5: Reclaiming Your Willpower. Most people believe that willpower is something you are either born with or you aren't. They look at disciplined people and think they have a special gift. This is a convenient lie that allows the average person to stay average. Willpower is not a gift. It is a skill, and more specifically, it is the ability to direct your awareness against the pull of your habits and impulses. Every time you choose to do what is right over what is easy, you are strengthening your willpower. Every time you give in to a craving or a distraction, you are weakening it. Most people have spent their entire lives weakening their willpower. They have trained themselves to follow every whim and every urge. They have become soft. To brainwash yourself for mastery, you must begin a process of radical reclamation. You must take back your will. You must understand that your willpower is like a battery. It starts the day full and gets depleted as you make decisions and resist temptations. This is why most people fail at their goals in the evening. Their willpower battery is dead, and they revert to their lowest common denominator habits. The elite manage their willpower with extreme care. They do not waste it on trivial decisions. This is why many successful people wear the same type of clothes every day or eat the same meals. They are saving their willpower for the things that truly matter. You must do the same. Simplify your life to reduce the number of choices you have to make. But more importantly, you must proactively build your willpower through intentional discomfort. Most people spend their lives trying to be as comfortable as possible. They want the room at the perfect temperature, the softest chair, and the most convenient food. But comfort is the enemy of growth. Comfort makes your will flabby. To reclaim your willpower, you must seek out small ways to be uncomfortable. Take a cold shower. Go for a run when you don't feel like it. Fast for a day. Say no to the dessert. Each of these acts is a victory for your will. You are telling your mind, I am in charge, not you. You are brainwashing yourself to be the master of your impulses. The 99% are slaves to their biology. They eat when they are bored, they sleep when they are tired, and they stop when they feel a little bit of pain. They are governed by the pleasure principle. You must be governed by the purpose principle. You must have a vision that is so strong that it overrides your desire for immediate gratification. Most people's visions are too weak to compete with a bag of chips or a Netflix binge. Their goals are just wishes. You need a vision that is a command. When you have a powerful why, your willpower becomes an unstoppable force. It is the engine that drives your awareness toward your goals, even when the mind is screaming for a break. Reclaiming your willpower also means taking responsibility for your focus. Most people blame their phones for their distraction. They say, the notifications are so addictive. This is a victim's mindset. The phone has no power over you unless you give it power. You are the one who picks it up. You are the one who unlocks it. You must own your choices. Stop making excuses. If you find yourself distracted, don't blame the world. Blame your lack of discipline and then fix it. This is the tough love you need to hear. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to give you more willpower. You have to build it yourself, brick by brick, choice by choice. Start today with one small act of self-discipline. Do something you know you should do but have been avoiding. Do it immediately without hesitation. This is how you prime the pump. This is how you start the journey from a weak will to a will of iron. Most people will never start. They will wait for the perfect moment which never comes. They will wait until they feel motivated. But motivation is a feeling, and feelings are unreliable. Willpower is a commitment. It is the ability to do the work even when the motivation is gone. This is the hallmark of the professional. The amateur works when they feel like it. The professional works regardless of how they feel. Brainwash yourself to be a professional. Value your word to yourself above all else. If you say you are going to do something, do it. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you destroy your self-trust and your willpower. Every time you keep a promise, you build them. Be the person who keeps their promises. This is how you reclaim your power. This is how you become a person of substance in a world of shadows. Chapter 6: Designing Your Mental Environment. Most people are unaware of how much their environment shapes their mind. They live in spaces that are cluttered, noisy, and designed for distraction, and then they wonder why their thoughts are cluttered, noisy, and distracted. Your physical surroundings are an external representation of your internal state, and they also act as a feedback loop. If you are surrounded by chaos, your awareness will naturally be drawn into rooms of chaos. To brainwash yourself for success, you must become the architect of your environment. You must design a world that supports your goals instead of undermining them. Most people are passive. They accept whatever environment they happen to be in. They work in loud coffee shops, they sleep with their phones next to their heads, and they surround themselves with people who have no ambition. They are setting themselves up for failure. You must be intentional. Your environment should be a temple of focus. Start with your physical space. Clear the clutter. A clean desk is a clean mind. Remove anything that does not serve a purpose or bring you inspiration. Make it easy to focus and hard to be distracted. If you want to read more, put a book on your pillow. If you want to work out, lay your clothes out the night before. If you want to stop checking your phone, put it in another room. Most people rely on willpower to resist temptation. The elite design their environment so that temptation isn't even there. They know that willpower is a limited resource, and they don't want to waste it fighting their own house. But your environment is more than just your physical space. It is also the information you consume. Most people are brainwashing themselves with garbage every single day. They consume news that is designed to make them afraid, social media that is designed to make them feel inadequate, and entertainment that is designed to keep them numb. They are feeding their minds poison and wondering why they feel sick. You must be a ruthless gatekeeper of what enters your mind. Stop consuming information that does not empower you. Unfollow the accounts that make you feel like you aren't enough. Stop watching the news that only focuses on tragedy and conflict. Start feeding your mind with ideas that challenge you, inspire you, and teach you. Read the great books. Listen to the thinkers who have achieved what you want to achieve. Surround yourself with the energy of greatness. This is how you brainwash yourself for success. You are replacing the scripts of the 99% with the scripts of the 1%. The 99% will call you obsessive or extreme. They will say you are missing out on the conversation. Let them talk. While they are discussing the latest scandal or reality show, you will be mastering the principles of the universe. You will be building a mental fortress that is impenetrable to the negativity of the world. Another crucial part of your environment is the people you spend time with. Most people are the average of the 5 people they spend the most time with. If your friends are lazy, cynical, and stagnant, you will be too. It is almost impossible to maintain an elite mindset when you are surrounded by mediocrity. You must be willing to prune your social circle. This is a hard truth, but it is necessary. You cannot fly with eagles if you are hanging out with turkeys. Seek out people who are better than you. Seek out people who push you, who hold you accountable, and who expect more from you. If you can't find them in person, find them in books, in podcasts, and in communities of high achievers. Your mental environment is the soil in which your dreams grow. If the soil is toxic, the dreams will wither. If the soil is rich and nurtured, the dreams will flourish. Take a hard look at your life. What parts of your environment are holding you back? What parts are leaking your energy? Change them. You are not a tree. You can move. You have the power to create a world that reflects the person you are becoming. Do not settle for an environment that was designed by default or by someone else's agenda. Design your own. Create a space that demands the best from you. Create a life that makes it easy to stay focused on your light. This is the work of a master. Most people are products of their environment. You must make your environment a product of your will. Chapter 7: The Habit of Focus. The difference between the elite and the average is not a single heroic act. It is the accumulation of thousands of tiny, consistent habits. Most people are looking for a silver bullet, a secret hack, or a sudden stroke of luck that will change their lives. They want the big win without the daily grind. But success is not an event. It is a process. It is the habit of focus. You are what you repeatedly do. If you repeatedly allow your awareness to be distracted, you are a distracted person. If you repeatedly choose to focus on your goals, you are a focused person. To brainwash yourself for excellence, you must turn focus into your default setting. Most people have the habit of distraction. They check their phones the moment they wake up. They graze on information throughout the day and they fall asleep to the blue light of a screen. They have built a neural superhighway for distraction. To build the habit of focus, you must consciously build a new highway. This takes time and repetition. Most people give up after a few days because they don't see immediate results. They don't understand that habits are like seeds. You plant them, you water them, and for a long time nothing seems to happen. But beneath the surface, roots are growing. And one day, the plant breaks through the soil. You must have the patience to water your habits of focus even when it feels like nothing is changing. Start with a morning routine that is non-negotiable. The first hour of the day is the rudder that steers the ship. If you spend that hour in distraction, your whole day will be distracted. If you spend that hour in focus, your whole day will be focused. Most people let the world steer their ship. They check their email or social media and immediately get pulled into other people's agendas. You must claim the morning for yourself. Use it to meditate, to visualize your goals, to exercise, or to do your most important work. This is how you set your intention. This is how you tell your mind where the ball of light belongs. Throughout the day, use triggers to remind yourself to be present. Every time you walk through a door or take a sip of water or check the time, let that be a signal to check in with your awareness. Ask yourself, where am I right now? Am I in the room of the present, or am I lost in a room of the past or future? This constant checking in builds the habit of awareness. Most people go hours without ever realizing they are lost in thought. You must be the person who is always coming back. The 99% are creatures of habit, but they are unconscious habits. They do the same things every day and wonder why their lives never change. They are stuck in a loop. To break the loop, you must introduce conscious habits that disrupt the old patterns. If you usually scroll on your phone during your lunch break, read a book instead. If you usually complain about your job, find one thing to be grateful for. These small shifts, when repeated, create a massive change in your trajectory. You are literally rewiring your brain. You are brainwashing yourself to see opportunities instead of problems and to see focus as a source of pleasure instead of a chore. The habit of focus also involves the habit of reflection. At the end of each day, look back. Where did your awareness go? What were the big wins? Where did you lose your light? Do not judge yourself, just observe. This reflection is the data you need to improve the next day. Most people live the same day 1,000 times because they never stop to look at what they are doing. You must be a student of your own life. You must be constantly refining your habits. Remember, consistency beats intensity every single time. It is better to focus intensely for 10 minutes every day than to focus for 5 hours once a month. The brain learns through repetition. Build the habit of focus by doing it every day without fail. Make it who you are. Let focus be the thread that runs through everything you do. When focus becomes a habit, you no longer need willpower to stay on track. You just do it because that is what you do. This is the stage of mastery. This is where you become unstoppable. The world will try to knock you off your path, but your habits will keep you steady. Your habits are the foundation of your success. Build them with care. Build them with intention. Build them to last. Chapter 8: Mastering Internal Dialogue. The most important conversation you will ever have is the one you have with yourself inside your own head. Most people have an internal dialogue that is a disaster. It is a constant stream of self-doubt, criticism, and fear. They say things to themselves that they would never dream of saying to a friend. They are their own worst enemy. This internal voice is the primary tool of the old brainwashing. It is the voice of your parents, your teachers, and the society that told you to play it safe and stay in line. It is the voice that says, "Who do you think you are?" Or "You can't do that," or "What if you fail?" To brainwash yourself for greatness, you must take control of this dialogue. You must become the editor of your internal script. You must understand that your subconscious mind is a servant. It does not judge the information you give it. It simply acts on it. If you tell yourself you are a procrastinator, your subconscious will find ways to make you procrastinate. If you tell yourself you are a leader, it will find ways to make you lead. Most people are feeding their subconscious a diet of garbage and wondering why their lives are a mess. You must feed it a diet of power. This is not about empty affirmations or lying to yourself. It is about choosing a narrative that empowers you. Instead of saying, "I am stressed," say, "I am feeling a lot of energy right now, and I am going to use it to get things done." Instead of saying, "I failed," say, "I just learned a valuable lesson that will make me stronger." You are not changing the facts, you are changing the interpretation. The interpretation is what determines where your awareness goes. Most people are trapped in a narrative of victimhood. They tell themselves stories about why they can't succeed. They blame their past, their luck, or their circumstances. These stories are like chains. You must break them. You must create a new story where you are the hero who overcomes every obstacle. You must brainwash yourself to believe in your own potential. The 99% will tell you to be realistic. They will tell you not to get your hopes up. This is because they are afraid of their own potential and they want you to stay down in the mud with them. Ignore them. Your reality is a reflection of your internal dialogue. If you want a bigger reality, you need a bigger dialogue. Mastering your internal dialogue also means learning to silence the noise. Most people's minds are like a crowded room where everyone is shouting at once. There is the voice of worry, the voice of ego, the voice of desire. You must learn to be the conductor of this orchestra. You must learn to say silence to the voices that do not serve you. This is where your concentration training pays off. You use your ball of light to illuminate the empowering thoughts and leave the disempowering ones in the dark. Practice speaking to yourself with authority and kindness. Be a coach to yourself, not a critic. When you make a mistake, acknowledge it, learn from it, and then move on. Don't beat yourself up for hours. That is just a waste of energy. The elite don't have time for self-pity. They have work to do. They use their internal dialogue to keep themselves focused, motivated, and aligned with their vision. They repeat their goals to themselves. They visualize their success. They build an internal world that is so vibrant and strong that the external world has no choice but to follow suit. This is the essence of self-brainwashing. You are choosing the thoughts that will govern your life. You are choosing the seeds that will grow in your garden. Do not let random negative thoughts take root. Pull them out the moment you see them. Replace them with thoughts of strength, clarity, and purpose. Your mind is a temple. Do not let anyone, including yourself, walk through it with dirty feet. Take charge of the conversation. Be the master of your voice. This is how you transform from a victim of your thoughts to the creator of your destiny. The world will listen to what you say, but the universe will listen to what you believe. And what you believe is shaped by what you say to yourself every single day. Make it count. Chapter 9. The Power of Intentional Choice. Most people live their lives on autopilot. They make choices based on habit, social pressure, or immediate convenience. They don't actually choose their lives, they just accept the default settings. They choose the easy job over the meaningful one. They choose the comfortable relationship over the one that makes them grow. They choose the distraction over the work. This lack of intentionality is why 99% of people are unhappy. They are living a life that was designed by someone else or by no one at all. To brainwash yourself for a life of significance, you must reclaim the power of intentional choice. You must realize that every single moment is a crossroads. Every moment is an opportunity to move your awareness toward your goals or away from them. There are no neutral actions. Everything you do either feeds your vision or feeds your distraction. Most people do not see the weight of their small choices. They think that one skipped workout or 1 hour of mindless scrolling doesn't matter. But it does matter. It matters because it is a vote for the person you are becoming. The elite are obsessed with intentionality. They do not do things by accident. They choose their food, they choose their company, they choose their thoughts, and they choose their actions. They understand that a life of greatness is built on a foundation of deliberate choices. You must stop letting life happen to you and start making life happen for you. This requires a level of self-awareness that most people find uncomfortable. It means looking at every part of your life and asking, did I choose this, or did it just happen? If you didn't choose it, and it doesn't serve you, get rid of it. You must be willing to make the hard choices that lead to long-term success. Most people choose the short-term pleasure and end up with long-term pain. You must be the person who chooses the short-term pain of discipline and ends up with the long-term pleasure of mastery. Brainwash yourself to value the future you over the present you. When you are faced with a choice, ask yourself, what would my best self do? And then do that. This simple question is a powerful tool for redirecting your awareness. It pulls you out of your immediate impulses and aligns you with your highest potential. The 99% will call you rigid or boring. They will say you should just go with the flow. But the flow of the world is heading toward mediocrity. If you go with the flow, you will end up where everyone else is, tired, broke, and full of regret. You must be the rock in the river that stays firm. You must have the courage to choose a different path. Intentional choice also means taking full responsibility for the outcomes of your life. Most people love to take credit for their successes but blame others for their failures. This is a weakness. To be a master of your mind, you must own everything. If you are distracted, it is your choice. If you are unsuccessful, it is a result of your choices. This might feel heavy, but it is actually the most empowering realization you can have. Because if you are the one who made the choices that got you here, you are the one who can make the choices that get you where you want to go. You are the architect. You are the builder. You are the one in control. Stop asking for permission to live the life you want. Stop waiting for the right circumstances. Choose the life you want and then work with ruthless intentionality to make it real. The world will try to distract you. It will try to lure you back into the easy path. You must stay focused. You must keep choosing your light over the darkness. This is the path of the hero. It is not an easy path, but it is the only one worth taking. Every intentional choice is a victory over the average self. Every choice is a step toward the 1%. Make your choices with clarity, with boldness, and with absolute conviction. This is your life. Do not let it be an accident. Chapter 10: Sustaining Perpetual Awareness. The final stage of mastering your mind is the move from sporadic focus to perpetual awareness. Most people think of personal growth as something they do for 30 minutes a day. They do their meditation, they write in their journal, and then they spend the other 23 and a half hours in total mental chaos. They think they can compartmentalize their training. They are wrong. True transformation requires a total commitment. It requires you to be aware not just when it is convenient, but every single moment of every single day. This is the difference between an amateur and a master. A master does not stop being a master when they leave the training hall. Their entire life is the training hall. To brainwash yourself for ultimate success, you must aim for perpetual awareness. This means that your ball of light never moves without you knowing it. You are the constant witness of your internal and external world. Most people will find this idea exhausting. They will say, "I can't be aware all the time." This is because they are still viewing awareness as an effort of the ego. But true awareness is not an effort, it is a state of being. It is like an eye that is always open. It doesn't try to see, it just sees. You must train yourself until awareness becomes as natural as breathing. This is the peak of the mountain. From this vantage point, you can see everything clearly. You see the traps of the mind before you fall into them. You see the opportunities that others miss because they are too distracted. You are always in the right place at the right time because you are actually there. Most people are never truly anywhere. They are always somewhere else in their heads. Perpetual awareness allows you to live with an intensity and a richness that is beyond description. Every moment becomes deep. Every action becomes precise. You are no longer fighting your mind. You are directing it with the lightest of touches. The 99% live their lives in a state of sleepwalking. They are driven by subconscious programs that they didn't even choose. They are reactive, emotional, and easily manipulated. By sustaining perpetual awareness, You are breaking the spell. You are waking up. This awakening is the ultimate goal of self-brainwashing. You have replaced the old, faulty software with a new, high-performance operating system, and now you are running it 24/7. You must be vigilant. The old habits will try to sneak back in. The world will try to pull you back into the haze. You must have the discipline to stay awake. Surround yourself with reminders. Set alarms. Use physical anchors. Do whatever it takes to keep your light burning bright. The elite understand that the moment they stop being aware is the moment they start losing. They know that life is a game of inches, and those inches are won or lost in the moments of awareness. You must value your awareness above all other possessions. If you lose your house, you can get another one. If you lose your money, you can earn it back. But if you lose your awareness, you have lost your life. You have become a ghost in your own body. Do not let this happen. Commit to the path of perpetual awareness. Let every breath be a reminder of your power. Let every challenge be an opportunity to practice your focus. This is how you become a legend. This is how you leave a mark on the world that cannot be erased. You have the tools, you have the blueprint, now you must have the will to sustain it. This is not a journey that ever ends. It is a way of living that gets deeper and more powerful with every passing year. You are the master of your mind. You are the master of your light. You are the master of your destiny. Stay awake. Stay focused. Stay powerful. A closing. You have reached the end of this blueprint, but this is not the finish line. This is the starting block. Everything we have discussed, the myth of multitasking, the separation of awareness and mind, the art of concentration, the management of energy, the reclamation of willpower, the design of your environment, the power of habits, the mastery of internal dialogue, the weight of intentional choice, and the goal of perpetual awareness. All of it serves one single purpose: to turn you into a sovereign being. You now possess the knowledge that the 99% will never have. You understand that your mind is not a fixed entity, but a dynamic tool that can be shaped, sharpened, and directed by your will. You have the formula to brainwash yourself for a level of success and freedom that most people think is impossible. But knowledge without action is just a sophisticated form of entertainment. If you do not apply these principles, you are no better off than the person who never heard them. The world does not reward you for what you know. It rewards you for what you consistently do. The transformation you seek is not a gift that will be handed to you. It is a reward for your discipline. It is a result of the thousands of times you will choose to bring your awareness back to the center when it wants to wander. It is the result of the cold showers, the skipped distractions, and the deep work sessions. You are building a new identity. You are no longer a person who is lived by their mind. You are the one who directs the light. Imagine your life a year from now, or 5 years from now, if you apply these principles with ruthless consistency. Picture yourself with a mind that is unshakable, a focus that is laser-like, and a sense of purpose that radiates from your very core. You will be operating in a different reality. You will have a level of self-respect that cannot be bought or faked. You will be free from the anxieties and the petty dramas that consume the lives of the average. You will be a leader, a creator, and a master of your own soul. This is the emotional payoff of the hard work. This is the freedom that comes from discipline. True freedom is not the ability to do whatever you want. It is the mastery over yourself so that you can do what is truly right. External validation will become irrelevant to you because you will have the ultimate internal validation, the knowledge that you are the master of your internal world. The path forward is clear. It is a path of constant practice and unwavering commitment. It is a path of coming back over and over again to the present moment and the task at hand. Do not wait for a more convenient time. There is no such thing. The only time that exists is now. Take your ball of light and place it on your next action, and then the next, and the next. This is how a great life is built. This is how you brainwash yourself for greatness. Go forth and take command. Your life is waiting for you to show up. Be the hero, be the master, be the light.